MoringaCon23. Welcome, everybody. For this episode, we are going to learn how to dry moringa greens. But before we dry them, there's a few methods that you can strip the greens and wash them. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm also going to get my tray to show you what you can put your moringa greens on after you've stripped them. I can go ahead and tilt this down a little bit more. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Grow Moringa. Hey, CC, welcome. So you can see that we just made a fresh harvest out in the field. We were just live for about an hour before this, and we grabbed a fresh harvest out in the field. And so we grab these greens, and what we're going to do is we're going to get them washed up now and take them essentially to the dry room. Okay. So here we have our dehydrating rack. This is a screen rack with also a gap here to also help with airflow to allow both sides of the greens to dry. So I'll set this aside here now. Okay. We got some moringa, where we have lemon, a little bit of azuca, and moringa powder. It's a special little mix here. Moringa. Trademark, and you can only drink it with your pinky up. You can see the powder in the bottom. Look at that. That's looking good. That's going to be some good energy. And feel warm too. I love it. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming in. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to say what's up in the chat. We're here in Plant City today, and we're getting our MoringaCon started. We're very excited to host this event here this weekend, this Veterans Day weekend. Thanks everybody for your service. Let's just go ahead and put our gloves on really quickly. Good morning. Good morning, all. Welcome. So we'll start with putting on some gloves. Let me just remind everybody that this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I'm really a farming architect. And we have our greens here. And what we want to do is we want to get them on the rack to dry. So we have a wash, a rinse, and then a tray. So we can see all of that here is pretty well. Good. There's a few different methods. You could really just keep it right on the stem and just dunk it completely and get a couple of dunks. The wash is where a lot of the dirt and the silt and the number 1 and number 2 are going to come off. So this water is going to end up turning a little yellow. Then I come in and do the rinse, and this just kind of solidifies the cleansing process. Moringa leaves are naturally hydrophobic. If you look at the leaves really closely, you'll notice that it forms little balls of the water because it's naturally oily and waxy, where the water doesn't even really sit on the leaves at all. It just kind of forms bubbles, and it doesn't even really sit on the leaves. And that's because they're called hydrophobic, where they repel water. Then you could just lay it right on the rack like that and just let that dry. Just know that the sticks and the stems are going to take a little bit longer to dry. And if you want a quicker dry, because maybe you've already harvested your greens, maybe 6 to 12, maybe 24 hours ago, and you're just now kind of getting to the greens, then you may want to just strip them completely. I really just like getting them to this branch form like this, and then just in a bigger bowl. I usually have a bigger bowl. I will just soak this whole thing. But for now, since we're here on demonstration, we just have these small little bowls for the table, just to really show you that you've got 2 bowls. You're really just trying to get the number 1 and the number 2 off. It doesn't even get wet. They don't even really get wet. A little wash, a little rinse. That hydrophobic property already allows the leaves to just stay really clean. This is a clean plant. You're able to eat the leaves right off the tree. There's not too many trees in the world where you can actually just eat the leaves. It's one of the reasons why you don't see moringa in the stores as much, because the leaves are so soft and brittle that they're not very good for shipping or for storing. They really wilt and they change color very easy. They need to be under like perfect conditions. Okay. Now let's also show you another method where you can actually strip the greens completely off the stems and just get them in the bowl like that. Where if you don't want to have any of the sticks or the stems, then you can just strip them like this. How does that look? Should we get some B-roll shots? Senor, should we get some B-roll shots? Just a few little B-roll shots while we're here. A little behind the scenes footage. Of course, we're open today and we're having guests, and the guests can come in. We're actually going to cut the day a little bit early. We have a meeting that we have to go to on the other side of town. So we're going to go ahead and probably move all of the events up to about 2 o'clock. So we're just going to speed things up today, and then we'll be back for a full day tomorrow. I'm actually going to be on a podcast tomorrow with Elder in California, and excited to be on the podcast with him tomorrow while we're filming here. We'll also be on with John Kohler as well. So what I like to do if I strip the greens completely like this in the bowl is have the wash and just massage the leaves until they're completely submerged and wet. This is really cool because then what you can do is just grab a pile like this and then bring them over into the rinsing bowl like this very nicely. And then after you just kind of give them a little dunk and give them a little rinse, we're really just trying to get the number 1 and number 2 off. The leaves are already really clean. The moringa tree is a clean plant. And then we just put them on the rack like this. And then the secret to getting your greens to stay super nutritious and green during this drying process is to put a fan right on them, and then also have them in a dry room with a dehydrator that's pulling the water, or a dehumidifier that's pulling the water